What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And in this review, I'm going to talk about the game Eternal Champions, which was released on the Sega Genesis by Sega and Sega Interactive. And the plot of the game is that an omniscient being called Eternal Champion predicts that mankind would cease to exist because of the untimely death of some people throughout history who were like pretty much destined for greatness. So what the Eternal Champion did is pretty much gather 9 people from different time periods to compete in a tournament, and he would pretty much change their fate if they were to win this tournament. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are 9 playable characters in the game. They are Blade, Jetta, Larson, um, Midnight, Rex, Shadow, Slash, Triton, and Xavier. Now, Eternal Champion himself is unlockable, but you have to beat the game to actually unlock him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, Eternal Champions does have like a lot of the tropes of fighting games back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? One of them is the fact that once you pick a specific character, the order of opponents that you face is pretty much randomly picked. You know what I'm saying? So if you like pick Larson, for example, you can maybe end up fighting like Slash, Blade, Jetta, Rocks, Shadows, Midnight, Triton, and Xavier, with Eternal Champion being the last one um, in that particular order. You know what I'm saying? Or they might change it up entirely if you pick them again like a second time. You know. Plus, it has the best out of 3 rounds and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Along with the along with each character have their own special moves. Plus, Eternal Champions has each character in Eternal Champions has pretty much a fatality move, which is kind of ripped off of a Mortal Kombat franchise, but not as gory and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, the modes in Eternal Champions are the single player and the 2 player co-op. You know what I'm saying? With the single player, you have um, the campaign mode where I mentioned you pretty much pick a character and you face off against the other characters in the game until you beat the game and stuff like that, along with the practice mode and the tournament and stuff. Now with the training mode, you pretty much you pretty much go into a dexterity sphere where you try to hit as many spears as possible without getting hit. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the hollow version. You know what I'm saying? Which is where you fight a hologram version of the player that you picked and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the practice spear where you pretty much hit the spear with it's a spear with different moves and stuff like that and everything. Now the 2 player co-op does have the battle room in it too. You know what I'm saying? And the battle room is where you fight a specific opponent where hazards and stuff are pretty much it pretty much added to make the fight more interesting, which is pretty much the first, you know what I'm saying, in the fighting game. Now I wish that other fight games included that. You know what I'm saying? Now then there's the tournament mode, you know what I'm saying, where there's roundabout, single elimination, and double elimination and everything. Now with the roundabout part of the tournament mode, it's pretty much a 2 player mode, two player co-op mode. I don't. It's possible that it is pretty much you could play have up to 16 characters to participate in the tournament to declare a winner and stuff like that. Now with the single elimination tournament, you can pick between 3 and 32 characters and make adjustment to like the time, the best of rounds. It could be like best out of three, best out of five, whatever, up to best out of 11. But who would pick best of out of 11 for the tournament mode? It's making more drawn out. You know what I'm saying? Now you do declare a winner regardless if you pick like 16 or 32 characters for the single elimination. Now the double elimination is no different than the single elimination, but you have up to 16 characters to pick from. You know what I'm saying? Instead of 32. You know, so it's you declare a winner in that too. But if a particular character loses twice or if you lose twice, you're knocked out of the tournament and stuff. Now, the graphics and design for Eternal Champions are excellent with pretty good color palettes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I have no big time complaints with it. None. As a matter of fact, to be truthful, now the controls are and gameplay are good, but um, uh, you're better off using that third-party Genesis controller with 6 buttons than pretty much the standard Genesis controller with the 3 buttons. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to worry about like pressing the start button to switch back and forth between the punches and kicks. If you use the Genesis controller with the 6 buttons, you know. Now, the soundtrack is pretty decent. I don't have no big time complaints with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it's not as good as say any other first party Genesis games like Afterburner or Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff. But the biggest flaw that I have with Eternal Champion is the difficulty in relation to the one player mode. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, as far as the option mode, it doesn't have a difficulty setting at all. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the first player, which makes it pretty much unplayable. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look at other fighting games that was released for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, like Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, and even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter, and Killer Instinct, which was a Super Nintendo exclusive. All them games got a difficulty setting. So to me, it ended up becoming a standard. But I don't understand why the programmers at Sega chose not to have a difficulty setting for Eternal Champions, because that really don't make no sense to me. The fact that they chose not to have a difficulty setting, you know, and that part of it pretty much reminds me of the two-player co-op for Battletoads, because if you try to beat Battletoads for the NES with you and another player, it's going to be practically unplayable. It's kind of like very few people actually beat Battletoads under the two-player co-op because it's so unplayable pretty much due to the difficulty. And it's the same thing with the one-player mode for Eternal Champion. It's practically unplayable. Plus, um, if you do advance and under the one-player mode, and you lose to the next character that you fight, they put you back to fighting the previous character that you beat, which don't make any sense either. You know what I'm saying? So to me, Eternal Champions, you better off playing Eternal Champions with somebody else under the two-player co-op. You know what I'm saying? Because the one-player mode is pretty much unplayable in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that the one-player mode is unplayable pretty much overshadow how good Eternal Champions is, and it pretty much put a damper on the game, and And it could have, and that difficulty setting, the lack thereof, prevented Eternal Champions from being a franchise that could have lasted at least 15 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So far as the score, I give Eternal Champions a 7 because the first the one player mode is so difficult, unplayable because of a lack of a difficulty setting, which makes no sense to me. You know, with that being said, sound off in the comment section about Eternal Champions. I would definitely like to hear your opinion about the difficulty settings, the lack of a difficulty setting for Eternal Champion out of anything else. You may like it, you may hate it. That's cool, but I definitely want to hear your opinion about the lack of a difficulty setting for this particular game. You know what I'm saying? So if you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.